Black, as a color, actually doesn't absorb light. Black, as a color, only absorbs visible light, so many black objects appear light-colored or even white, under infrared light or even UV light. This is where the color comes from. Many other colors occur because objects reflect, absorb and transmit different wavelengths of light to different degrees. If the color we see when looking at an object is mostly green, then we say that the object's color is green. Likewise, when we look through it, if the light that mostly comes through it is blue, we say the object is blue. When it gets difficult is when a different color is reflected than is transmitted, and then the object changes color depending on whether you are looking at reflected light or transmitted light. Camera lenses are a good example of this. They look clear when you look through them, but often have a red, green or bluish tinge to them when you look at the light reflected in them. When an object reflects roughly equal levels of red, green and blue light, we see white. White doesn't really exist as a color, it's just something our brains do when we see equal amounts of reflection from an object. When we see no light reflected from an object, or not much light, we call it black. Again, black doesn't exist, it's just something our brains assign as a color when there's not much of any light. So it's not, why does black absorb light? It's, why do things that absorb light appear to be black? And the answer is that this is how our brains make sense of an object that doesn't reflect much light relatively compared to the objects around it. Many colors like black, white, and even pink, and a few others don't correspond to a single wavelength of light. They are colors our brain makes up so we can understand the signals coming from our eyes. So black, as a color, might not really exist, and sometimes it doesn't even absorb all light, just the light we can see, but we can still make sense of it because of the way our brains work.